Amazing. This was the one song that they did not sing in the film that I can think of. And this is probably my favorite Clark Sister song. One of them for sure. But definitely this I play. And you brought the sunshine. The sunshine. And also, they got so many hits. It would have been me. It should have been me. It could have been me if it wasn't for the blood. That one. The Clark Sisters movie, y'all. Y'all know I got a lot to say. I do. First of all, let me give a shout out to let me get her Instagram. Let's shout out to my girl Bree, one of my amazing subscribers, for sending me some tea. Make sure you guys follow her on Instagram. Some tea has been spilled. Now I'm trying to think, should I go ahead and give my review first? Or should I give the tea? Okay, I'm gonna give my review first. Okay, y'all get y'all popcorn and stuff. This is probably gonna be a lengthy one. Okay, so the Clark Sisters reign from probably one of the most world-known places for talent, Detroit, darling. Shouts out to all my family members in Detroit, darling. Okay, so we have Dr. Manny Moss Clark. She is a singer-songwriter. She was a minister of music at the church. She was an all-around just boss for sure. She definitely was. She was no joke. Dr. Manny Moss Clark. And she had a husband, which was the girl's father. But we found out that he was the father, I think, of only 4 of the girls. But the older one, he was not the father of, apparently. You know, I thought that the Clark Sisters, first of all, if you know, I guess if you just know a surface level of the Clark Sisters, like of what you've seen for the past few years, you know that you would think the Clark Sisters are just 3 of them, because those 3 are the ones that's active, and you know those ones that's still out there doing shows, and you know the ones that are still active, and those 3 are Dorinda, Jackie, and Karen. But there's actually 5 Clark Sisters. And me personally, and people know Twinkie as well, but me personally, I always thought that Twinkie was the oldest sister. But no. Twinkie was not the oldest. Twinkie was actually in the middle. She's the middle sister, actually. The oldest sister is actually Jackie. Then Denise Clark. Then Twinkie, then Dorinda, then Karen. I did not know that. I learned a lot of things by watching this for sure. I also learned, my mom just, I also learned that my grandmother, you know, growing up, she was a huge fan of the Clark Sisters. So, rest in peace to my grandmother. And I didn't know that. It's pretty cool. Okay. The actors that was in the film. Do I know them? The lady who played Dorinda, I've seen her before. I think, is she on the show Insecure? I think she worked with Issa Rae. I think. The lady who played Denise, is that the lady from Being Mary Jane? With Gabrielle Union. Is that her? That looked like her. The cousin or whoever she was that had the baby, whatever. I didn't watch Being Mary Jane like that. But it was a decent show, but I just didn't watch it. So yeah. But anyway, I didn't know any of the other ladies. The lady who played Twinkie, she looked like Jill Scott. I had to look twice. I was like, is that Jill? She looked like Jill Scott. She really did. Okay. So what do we see? We see the ladies singing in church. All of them are singing down, Incredible. Incredible voices. And, just killing it. They are. Hold on, y'all. Yeah. Incredible. So then it cut to the ladies. They are kids. And we have Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. She is waking them up. The actress who played Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, I done seen her on a bunch of stuff. I just cannot recall her name at all. At all. But this is the real Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. What does it says on the good old Google? Dr. Maddie Moss Clark was an American gospel choir director and the mother of the Clark Sisters, a world-renowned gospel vocal group. She was the longest-serving international minister of music for the Church of God in Christ. Amen. Anyway, so yeah, we learned that what Dr. Maddie Moss likes to do is that in the middle of the night, God would give her a song, and she wakes the girls up. She didn't have a tape recorder or whatever. So in the middle of the night, she wakes the girls up, and, they are basically her tape recorder. So what they would do is that she would have a song on her heart. She'll be playing at the piano, and she'll tell them how she wants it to sound. She'll give them the lyrics and they sing it back to her, and then they do it over and over again. Then when they get back time to take it to the choir, the girls sing it for the choir, and that's how she wanted to sound. And so boom bam, there you go. Very smart way of doing that. So after that, let me see. So we cut to a scene. One thing that was weird throughout the whole film was the time frames. If you wasn't thinking about it, if you wasn't looking, I keep looking up, y'all, this spider. I tell you. But anyway, if you wasn't like paying attention, you would miss the glimpses of the time frames, because it would skip years. And so anyway, all the girls are grown at this point. And Jackie is, as the eldest, she's always put in charge. So then we cut to Miss Maddie Moss. We cut to her. She's upstairs. Now, the girls are downstairs singing because, they got some good chicken and they're getting ready to eat. I'm about to eat my chicken in a few minutes, KFC. So they got some good chicken. And, we have Denise. Denise, she getting ready to go out. Because Denise, she got a date, Friday night date. She cannot be late. It gonna be so great. Friday night at 8. So Denise got to go. Now, the mama don't know that Denise is, going out and, doing whatever, living her life. And, her sisters are kind of covering for her. So we see Miss Maddie, she's upstairs. And we see her talking to her husband. And he's in the shadows. Now he is the preacher, the pastor at the church, I think. But instantly, the music came on, and we could tell instantly that he was a bad character. So he tells her, "Hey, what you getting ready to do? Talking about what you doing with them girls? You taking Twinkie everywhere you go? What you doing with these girls? I want you to sit back and be my wife. You trying to make them the Jackson 5?" She said, "No, they better than the Jackson 5." He was like, "I just want you to sit down and just be my wife." She was like, "That's cool, but being a pastor wife don't pay, and we got to pay some bills. We got 5 kids, child." He didn't like that response. So, pretty much for the girls, for Maddie Moss Clark, and for the rest of the girls, it was literally school, church, home. And a lot of times it wasn't even school, apparently. I'm sure they went to grade school and all that, but I'm talking about like college and stuff. It ended up just being church, work. As you watch the film, you realize that in a way, although she was a fantastic mother, great, educator and all that kind of stuff, you kind of learn along the way that maybe the mother, she was kind of living through her girls. Maybe because she did not get to accomplish her dreams, all of what she wanted to accomplish as a, singer-songwriter. Whatever. She even had gold records that she was hiding from the father because the father did not support it. The father, I guess he just wanted a stay-at-home wife that just did whatever he wanted. And Dr. Maddie Moss Clark, well, she wasn't the one. Not for that, anyway. And good for her, Get your own. Let me see. He gonna tell her ambition don't look good on you. I was like, ooh. She walked right past him, child. Let me see. We found out that, a little later on, that he was actually abusing her. And it was a horrible scene. But we're gonna talk about it. I think I put it in my notes, child. Okay, so we cut to a choir rehearsal, child. We have Maddie Moss. She's, the choir director, minister of music. And, she got the girls up there. They up there talking to boys, trying to hide it from mama because she's not with it. And, she has them to sing the song, the whole choir. And she notices somebody's off. And she realizes one of the girls, one of the sopranos. She said, "Child, it's been a long time since I heard sorry sopranos." Child, and one of the girls was chewing some gum. And Dr. Maddie Mouse took off her shoe and threw it at the girl. Made her spit out her gum, and I was scared when she threw that shoe. I was like, Lord have mercy. I was screaming. I was like, come through, Maddie Mouse. Okay, let me see. So we get back to the house. We have Jackie. She's out with her boyfriend. Now, mind you, they all had little boyfriends and stuff that they were seeing. But I don't think that the mama really knew about it like that. But, still quite innocent. Just being young. Just being, being girls, Anyway, so Jackie outside talking to her man or her finna be man or whatever. And all of a sudden she goes into the house and there's a lot of commotion. The girls are downstairs crying. The daddy, the good old pastor, he's up there beating on their mama. They're having a fight. Jackie, as the eldest, as the protector, as the one to, look after the younger ones. She goes up there and it was just like, "Mama, what's going on? What's going on?" She was like, "Yo, Jackie, go downstairs." Jackie ended up getting on the phone. She was getting ready to call the police. The daddy walked down the steps and said, "I know you ain't getting ready to call the police on me in my house." Told her to get out my house. You ain't my child, no way. Ain't that awful to say? So apparently, allegedly, Jackie had a different father than the rest of them. But that's the only father she knew. That's still your child. I'm sure she's spent years. He spent years with Jackie in her life, and for him to say that ugly thing about her. Now, mind you, Jackie, she ain't even sweat it. She was upset. She was crying a little bit. She ain't sweat that thing. She was like, "Oh, okay, you want me out your house? I'm gone. Peace." And meanwhile, Dr. Maddie, she's hugging the girls and trying to calm them down and stuff. But Jackie, she didn't care. The next scene we saw Jackie was getting married. Jackie was getting married, and one beautiful part that I saw, one beautiful scene was Dr. Maddie. She was in there talking to Jackie, and Jackie had a job. Jackie was a nurse, and she was paying Mama the entire time, and she was giving her $50, and Maddie Moss, she said she gave her an envelope and it had all the money that Jackie had ever given her. She never spent any of it. She said, "Use this for your household." I thought that was so sweet. I was like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. So Jackie off and married, child. Okay. So, this whole time they're cutting through, just them singing and being on the choir and all this kind of stuff. And it was just, I really enjoyed it. It was just really, really taking me back, for sure. Whoever was doing the singing, Kiara Shear, she played her mama, Karen, and perfect. Actually, the acting as a whole was good. I was impressed. The acting was really good. They, sometimes on these movies they be having, the voices and stuff don't match up and stuff, but it was perfect. They got this right. The executive producers who put this film together was Queen Latifah, Missy Elliott, and Mary J. Blige, and yeah. Hats off to y'all. But I do have some critiques later on. But so yeah, that was killing it. Okay. So there was a scene between Twinkie and Denise. Twinkie and Denise was really close. They were only a year apart. And Denise, Twinkie had waited up for Denise. Twinkie a lot of times was kind of like the one that they knew had they back. Twinkie was always the reliable one for all of them. Whenever they wanted to go out and do something, without their mama knowing, whenever they wanted to just do whatever or say whatever, they knew that Twinkie had their back. Twinkie gave a lot to her family, especially to her mother. Child, we found out that she even gave up going to Harvard University because the mama said, you need to choose between Harvard University and your family. You playing the organ with the church. And she wanted to go to Howard, but them being at church probably all the time, it was a lot on her, so she had to end up giving up school. And Dr. Maddie said the same thing to Denise. She was like, "Well, do you want this life or do you want God?" It was a lot. It was a lot that those girls did. I guess they felt obligated to do for their mother. We found out that the girls I was gonna say that we found out that the mother she gave a lot for the girls too. Really, they were her life, the girls. It was just it's a lot. But let me see. Denise was the rebellious one. You always got one child. They ain't gonna listen to what you say. So they woke up Maddie Moss Clark, child. She came down the steps. She asked Denise, child, where you going? And Denise, she was like, "I'm sick of your rules, Mama. I'm sick of doing all this for you." And child, she ended up slapping the taste out of Denise's mouth. It was a mess. The next day, they had a scene where all the girls are at the table along with the mama, and Dorinda gonna say, "Oh, um, let me, God, please pray for me right now because it's taking everything in my power not to slap my to pull my sister by her nappy head." Something she said. I was like, "Child." Denise ended up apologizing to her mom. The mom was just trying to get them to understand that we can't be sitting here praising on the choir stands, but then we out doing whatever. Just putting a lot of pressure on the girls, like a lot of pressure that they did not ask for, none of them. Some abided by her rules and some were over it, understandably. There was just no balance. There was no balance at all. It was just work, school. It was work, school, church, and for some of them it was just home, church, home. And but church was at the top of the list. Child, can I go to the bathroom? No. You got to get up on this pew, and later on, if I like the way that you sound, then I will let you go to the bathroom. It was one of those moments. My gosh. I understand she saw something in her girls. Very talented. They all are. But is this something that each one of them actually wanted? Or were they just trying to please mama? Who's to say? But we thank God for them. We do. But my God. Okay, let me see. Child, there was even a scene where Jackie, she had got off work. She had on pants. And she was like, she opened the door. Maddie opened the door. And she looked down at Jackie's pants and closed the door in her face. She didn't say nothing to her. So she went to go change it to a skirt. And then she finally opened the door for her and started talking to her, talking about, you don't wear no pants in this house. I was like, ooh, my Lord. But we don't know the mother's upbringing. We don't know what she went through. We don't know how she was raised. Parents do the best they can, I believe, most parents. And they just go for what they know. And maybe this is how her parents did her. So maybe that's why she raised the girls that way. I don't know. Let me see. There was a conversation that Mama had with Twinkie, and whose real name is Albertina, I believe. Had a conversation with her, and Twinkie, she was just talking. She was like, "Yo, I'm tired." Like, by this time, Jackie had already got married, and also Dorinda just got proposed to after rehearsal, whenever it was, and you can tell Twinkie was down because she was just like, "Oh my gosh, when is it going to be my time? When is somebody going to be interested in me? Like, I'm tired of this. It's just church and church." She was feeling she was having those same feelings that Denise was having. Denise was just more outspoken to say it. But Twinkie was definitely feeling that way. I'm sure all of them was feeling that way, but was probably scared to say something. So anyway, that's when Dr. Manny Moss, she was just like, "Yo, Twinks, I want you to take over the group." She was like, you can get through to your sister Denise, better than I can, and we could just talk about everything later, but I'll take care of the business part, but I want you to take over the group. You write all the songs. Twinkie was very talented. She played the organ, she wrote the songs, she was a hell of a singer, and she was intelligent. I mean, she got brain fart. She got accepted into Harvard University. Child, I've been trying to get into Harvard for the longest. I done tried to get into Harvard so much, they wrote me a letter and said, "Mr. King, don't you write back up here no more. Don't you send no more damn applications up here. You're not Harvard material. Don't you ever. If we see you come through the door, we got rifles for you. That's what they told me. So Harvard is an elite. That thing hard to get into. Child, they barely let me into community college, let alone Harvard, child. Shouts out to my community college that I went to and graduated from. I don't care. They wouldn't let me into Harvard. Talking about, oh, you can't have average. You can't have average to below average grades and get into Harvard. I say, it says who? That's where I want to go. I want to get into Harvard. So anyway, yeah. Twinkie, she was just like, Mama, do you even trust me? Because, you know, the mama's very stern on the girls and stuff. And you know, she has that takeover spirit. And she was like, yo, Mama, do you even trust me? She was like, with my heart, with my life. She was like, you are my heart. You are. And so, you know, by that time they gave Twinkie a little inspiration because, you know, she had something to look forward to again. Because she had a lot to be down about. You know, maybe she was suffering from some self-esteem issues as well. You know, she was, like I said, she was seeing her sisters get married off and have boys and stuff interested in them. And she did not have that same reality at the moment. So she started writing songs, child, and that was when she wrote, she got by the piano, got all the girls by the piano and started singing, making up the lyrics for You Brought the Sunshine in my life. You are my life. Oh, yes. Jesus is the answer. Y'all know. Anyway, and it was, you know, great song, one of my favorite songs. Okay. Child. So there was this guy that was trying to get, he pulled Kiara, not Kiara, he pulled this Kiara, but, you know, pulled Karen off to the side and you know, wanted to talk to her and said, yo, your voice stands out above the rest. He was like, your voice is incredible. I would love for you to get into some solo music or do some, even contemporary, do some R&B, you know, do some secular music. She was like, oh, I gotta talk to my mom. You know, Karen is the baby. She's the youngest. So whatever the others did, you know, that's what she did. She did what she was told as the baby girl. And you know, she was also very dependent on her sisters. You know, I can only imagine. I'm the only child on my mom's side. I have siblings on my dad's side. But I grew up with my mom's side. I didn't grow up with my siblings. I had cousins and stuff, but no siblings. Anyway, you know, it's a crutch. It's a comfort zone having, you know, if one of them not feeling well to that day, or, you know, if one of them, you know, can't hit that top note, you got 4 other people that can work it out and make it happen. So, you know, it was always a thing for her. Karen was always scared to sing. It's usually the most talented one that's always the most nervous and shy. It happens that way. But yeah, she was scared to sing, and she was just scared and nervous. And, you know, but my God, when Karen opened her mouth, the angels came through. All the gates, child, just all came back. I mean, my Lord, that voice. Anyway, the next scene we saw was Twinkie rolling up in a shiny new car. And we found out that Twinkie sold the rights to all her music to that guy, and in return he gave us some money for a car. Maddie Moss cussed that lady out. She told her, you got the look of a woman. When I look at you, I see a woman. You got the body of a woman. But on the inside, you still a little girl. I mean, she made Twinkie feel this small about selling rights to her music. I understand it's a big deal, but at the time, Twinkie was looking at it like, I want to do something for me. I do so much for my sisters. I do so much for my mama. I want to do something for me. These are my songs. I wrote it. Y'all didn't write nothing. Y'all didn't write nothing. I wrote all these songs. I play the organ. I'm the one. I'm the one that got to get y'all heifers together. I'm the one. Denise hugged and supported Twinkie. She was just like, it's okay, Twinkie. You just wanted something for yourself. You know, Denise, like I said, Denise and Twinkie were close. And, you know, anything that's against what the others are doing, Denise was for. 100%. So, yes. Let me see. So, the girls are getting ready to perform. And at church, they're, you know, and backstage changing. And then that's when Denise tells the girls, hey, I'm pregnant. They was done. Especially Dorinda. She was flipping out. Dorinda is probably the most, as far as personality wise, Dorinda's probably the most like her mom, according to the film. Because that's all we got to go off of. According to the film, Dorinda's probably the most like her mom. So basically, her reaction was gonna be the mother's reaction, but it wasn't. Mama came in. Denise straight up said, "Look, I'm pregnant." Mama acted like it didn't affect her. She was like, "Well, you still got to get out there and perform." And that's when they went out there and performed. My voice is not working today. That's why I'm not doing as much singing. Is my living in vain? Is my praying in vain? No, of course not. It's not all in vain. 'Cause up the road is eternal day. Y'all know that one. The one that Escape redid. Is eternal day. Sisters day. Y'all know. And they meant that song the whole time. Usually Manny Moss Clark, she's up clapping with her sister when her daughters are singing and she's excited and stuff. But that look on her face, it was just disgust, it was disdain, it was disappointment. She was sad, she was hurt that one of her daughters done went out there and got pregnant, child. And you gotta think about the time, child. This was the 70s. What, 70s, 80s? You know. Having and then them being heavy in the church, having a child out of wedlock was just not the business. It just wasn't. And you know, we don't know for sure if Denise was married at the time or if this was just some random dude that she got caught up with and boom bam thank you ma'am after a couple of shots of Mad Dog 2020s, then you know she was wide open. We don't know. So yeah. Let me see. So, we see a scene where the little boy's born, cute as a button. He's sitting there, you know, Jackie ends up coming in. And that's when Mama, being the business, you know, manager and, you know, being over them, that's when she ends up telling the girls that, hey, y'all gonna be performing at the Grammys. She was real nonchalant about it because I guess she didn't realize how much of a big deal the Grammys was. And they found out they got nominated for a Grammy for Best Gospel Album, and the girls are lit. And then that's when they invite their mama to be on stage with them, which is low-key something that she wanted. I feel like she wanted what's the word? She wanted to be in that zone. She wanted to live in a way. I felt like she wanted to live through her daughters. She made her dream ultimately her daughter's dream, and the fact that her daughters invited her on the stage was a big deal, because it was just like, because and to be honest, it is she's a big part of the reason as to why they were so successful as their mama. She was their everything, and vice versa. So she got on the stage and did that thing. It was there was a scene where Dr. Mandy Moss Clark, she had a meeting with the council, all the good church folks. I thought she was in court. She had a meeting with them, and they showed disdain. But from what we saw, the viewers, we saw jealousy. We saw a bunch of men trying to put a woman in her place. It was just ugly to see that. They felt like, oh, you can't be on that type of program. Even though you singing gospel music, you can't be on over there with the heathens on that kind of program, singing that kind of stuff. Over there, and just basically told her, if you want to remain the minister of music at this church, you not gonna be out there singing at that show where they bump and grind at what Madonna and them at, rolling around on the floor. You're not gonna be at that place. And you hear me? And she turned around and she said, I ain't doing no crime. All I'm out there singing the Lord's work. I'm out there with my daughters. How you gonna tell me not to be with my kids? It was like, you won't work in this business. So, child, there was another scene where Dr. Mandy Moss Clark, when she was getting ready to perform with the girls, she told them just go ahead and go out there. I guess this was another televised event where the council would see on TV. I was like, no, y'all just go ahead and go on out there, child. So she chose the church over her dream, ultimately. Over something she really, really wanted to do. She really wanted to be with her daughters. And she chose the church over there. She chose the church over a lot of stuff, apparently. I cannot. Okay. Child, there was a scene where Denise is, she stopped her mom and asked her could she babysit. Because she had something to do. Mama said, child, you made all them kids. Say your responsibility. I done raised mine. So now you raised yours. Now that was ugly to say. But her and Denise always kind of had that relationship. Because I guess Denise wasn't the one that was for everything that Mama was for, and for everything that Mama wanted them to do all the time. She got sick and tired. So the next scene is all the girls, they get ready to sign their record contract. They get ready to sign their record deal. And Denise sitting there mad as hell. She didn't say nothing to nobody. She was irritated. She was pissed. And she was like, yo, I'm not signing this thing. And Dorinda, there she goes starting problems like she always do. And, it was just like, well, why are you not going to sign the paper? And Denise was just like, I'm done. I'm going to live my own life, Mama. I'm so tired of doing everything for you when I get nothing. Denise, she just let her heart out. She was like, you do everything for Dorinda, for Karen, for Twinkie, for Jackie. You left me nothing but the scraps. You left me nothing. And me just thinking about their timeline me just thinking about their ages. Jackie being the oldest. The oldest is the oldest. They're their own special brand, child. The oldest is legendary. And then came Denise. So Denise was the baby for a little minute. Then the very next year she had Twink. And she was the one with the twinkle in her eyes. They said that's why they call her Twinkie. And then a few late years after that, she had Dorinda. Okay. Like I said, Dorinda's probably the most like Mama. And then, like 2 or 3 years after that, she had Curran. And so she was able to spend a lot of time with Dorinda, and I guess mold her to be a certain kind of way. That's why she never worried about Dorinda, because I guess Dorinda was that child that had it all together. I'm just assuming Dorinda was that child that had it all together, so she didn't too much worry about Dorinda because she knew Dorinda was just like her. So whatever she said and how she felt, Dorinda was gonna feel. Teacher's pet, kind of. Mama's pet. She even said that she was the knee baby. So she had Karen in her lap, and the knee baby was right here beside her the whole time, being the helper, being whatever. And she probably put the older two to take care of Twinkie for a while. Y'all know how it is with big families and stuff. So anyway, Denise felt like she was a black sheep pretty much. Dorinda gonna say out her mouth, "You know what, Niecy? I know you're my sister, but you make it so you are so hard to love sometimes." That's so ugly to say to your sister. Denise was like, "You know what? You was never hard to love because you my sister." Broke my heart. Every family got one though, a black sheep. With the Braxtons, it's Tracy. So. Child. Okay. There was a scene with, let me see. Twinkie finally get a man, child. Some dude. He ends up sweeping Twinkie off her feet, and they going over there to the mama house. Twinkie say she going to North Carolina. The mama say, "You ain't going no damn well." Twinkie was like, "Now wait a minute, mama. Wait a minute. What's your issue? You don't have no problem. You didn't say nothing when Jackie got married. You didn't say nothing when Dorinda got married. You didn't even say nothing when Lil Curran got married and got her little man, the baby girl. But you have an issue with me? Why you holding on to me? Why? She was like, "Because you a child. You my baby. You not ready yet. The first dude to smile in your face, you ready to go off with him and get married." She was begging. She was like, "Please don't take my baby away from me. Please don't take her. Please don't take her." He even knocked her down. Dr. Manny Mouse caught she was holding on to Twinkie. And the boyfriend ended up knocking the mama down. Now I said, what the hell? I don't care how mad I am at my mama at that moment or whatever's going on. You not gonna knock my mama down, sir. I don't give a damn if you my husband. You not gonna knock my mama down. That's just not how that works. She ended up going out the door with him, child. She ended up walking out with the boyfriend. I was like, ain't that some shit? Who does that? Child. Ow. I dropped my phone on my foot. Okay. Let me see. Meanwhile, Mama was getting a little older, and we saw the mom. Jackie was coming back and forth in there to see about her, and this was when we saw the mama, and we saw that she was getting sick. Jackie ended up seeing the mother's foot, and her foot was bleeding. And then that's when we found out that the mother had, I'm assuming maybe she had diabetes or whatever. But anyway, she had, they ended up having to amputate her foot. They did. While she was in the hospital. So we saw Dorinda, Jackie, and Karen. She was so proud of her daughters. She talking to the nurse, and they sung for the nurse, and that's when she went by and said how each one of her daughters, made her what they meant to her. Karen was a special child. the talented child, the baby girl. Um, Jackie was her rock. Is the oldest. Um, Dorinda was her knee baby. The responsible one, the one that she didn't have to worry about. She said earlier in the episode, Twinkie was her heart. And I guess Denise, I don't know what Denise would have been. Her challenge. Ain't this horrible to say? But I don't know. According to the film, that's what it seemed like, child. Let me see. So, child, the mama ended up passing away, and we see Denise. Denise is up there, child, talking to the church. Denise up there spilling her heart out. Denise got 7 boys at this point. 7. Child, the Clark sisters just sitting there looking at her. Denise was showing out and just saying whatever because Denise was hot. She was mad. So then they're leaving the church. Denise and Karen gets into it on who's gonna sit in the family car. The Clark sisters, all of them are gonna sit in the family car, in one of the family cars, and minus Denise. Denise was gonna sit in another family car. She was like, "Why can't I be in the main family car?" They was like, "We just thought you wanted to be with your kids." Shade. She said, "No, don't worry about me trying to be with my kids." It was like, that's why they got a damn father. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about me trying to be with my kids. My kids are right. I want to ride in a family car. Karen and her ended up getting into it because she just made a spectacle in, front of the entire congregation, and found out through Larry Clark. We'll talk about that. That there was celebrities there like Aretha Franklin and stuff who performed, and it was a lot. Dr. Maddie Moss Clark was a big deal, and everybody knew the Clark sisters. So they ended up getting into it, and that was when Denise said that, don't worry about it. I ain't gonna be no Clark sister no more. I'm out the group. I'm out of everything. Twinkie ended up riding with Denise. Oh, it was just a lot. It was a lot. Twinkie's husband was a mess. He just wanted to mooch off her. He wanted her to pay the bills. He didn't want to do nothing but what he wanted to do. Twinkie was trying to book shows and do stuff, and a mess. So what we see? We see Twinkie. She's kind of having a nervous breakdown. She misses her mother the most because she left, and her mama really didn't want her to leave like that. According to Larry Clark, which is Denise's oldest son, I believe, he said that it was really Dorinda that had the nervous breakdown, not Twink. So yeah, that was pretty sad. Let me see. So we cut to like 2008. 2008 just came out of nowhere, child. 2008 came out of nowhere. And we see Karen and her husband. They're going down to sit down and talk to Twinkie. Was like, we need to get the sisters back together for a performance, yada yada. She was like, well, where's Denise? She was like, oh, we tried with Denise, it just didn't work out. So then they're on the stage. Jackie, Karen, Dorinda, and Twinkie's playing on the piano, singing "Blessed and Highly Favored." And then it cut to the real Clark sisters, and then it has the wording at the bottom on, what happened to them and yada. And that's all. The Clark sisters are still with us, thank God. And that's it. That was the movie. First of all, let me say thank you for watching this review. This is a long one. First of all, let me say a lot of us grew up on the Clark sisters. They are legendary. Love them. Iconic. And, you know, I'm glad they're finally getting their shine. They absolutely deserve it and more. For sure. The Clark sisters have inspired so many. Very, very talented family. The acting was good. The story, it was a good story overall. Everything, the clothing, like everything was on point. So they got all that correct. And dare I say it, that this is the best black Lifetime biopic. The best black Lifetime biopic. I'm not talking about all the other biopics of black folks, black celebrities, black entertainers on other channels. As far as Lifetime, this is the best one so far, I think. Now, here are my critiques. I'm going to leave the video on the bottom bar below of Larry Clark. Larry Clark, like I said, is Denise Clark's son. A lot of things was left out of the film. A lot of things was copied. He said that whole scene with them sitting around the piano with Twinkie writing You Brought the Sunshine, that was taken from his play. His play of the Clark sisters was done a while back. And apparently that was taken from his play and nobody gave him credit. Wrong. Allegedly. Wrong. What's something else? There was also a scene, forgot to talk about it, that Karen, she was in the hospital. Apparently they were saying that she had a 2% chance of living. She lived, thank God. But they never said what she was in the hospital for. Now, did nobody have no problem? They ain't have no problem spilling all Denise tea. Talking about Denise, running her name through the mud. But did nobody want to talk about Karen and why she was in the hospital? I mean, if you had gastric bypass surgery, I mean, what's the big deal about saying that? Or some other kind of surgery or whatever she had. Like, what's the big deal about saying that? But they kept that under wraps. And they flipped on Twinkie too, allegedly. You see how I said that allegedly it was Dorinda that had a nervous breakdown, not Twinkie. Still using Twinkie as the lapdog, child. Still throwing Twink under the bus. They know she ain't gonna do nothing. Allegedly. You know, I wanted to know what happened to the father, their dad. He didn't interact with the girls at all. It was weird. What was going on with that? Why he didn't interact with his daughters? It didn't seem like he didn't love anybody, not including Dr. Maddie Moss Clark. But he didn't. I mean, what happened to the father? Did he end up passing away? What happened? Larry will tell you the tea on what happened with Grandpa. Apparently, Grandpa was there the whole time. I don't know. But one thing that a lot of people want to talk about, and I'm gonna end with this. This video's long enough. One thing a lot of people aren't talking about is my biggest issue with the film. Now, I love Queen Latifah. I love Mary J. Blige. I love Missy Elliott. They're all strong, black, beautiful, amazing, incredible women. But now I don't know how much involvement they had in I'm assuming in everything, but I don't know how much involvement they had with talking to each individual Clark sister. I don't know if Denise got the same opportunity as the other ones did, because Denise is pretty much out the group, you know. I don't know. But it seemed like the story was wrote in a way to kind of, look, tell your story. Whatever your story is, tell your story. but it seemed like it was wrote in a way to kind of down Denise in a way. And my biggest issue with the film was the fact that, mind you, all the Clark sisters, they're all, lighter skinned black women. Caramel to lighter skinned light skinned black women. They're all pretty much the same complexion. It was interesting to me how they made the outside sister, Denise, the sister that's no longer in the group, the sister that rebelled, the sister that they don't fool with, they made her the dark skinned one. The one who's rebelling, the one who's talking back to mama, the aggressive one, the mean one, the bad one. They made her the dark skinned lady. Everybody else light skin or light brown skin. But they made Denise the dark skinned one. Now mind you, they're all the same complexion in real life. I mean, y'all can find no other bit light skinned lady to play Denise. They particularly made her the dark, and it's not like a thing of her. She's clearly dark skinned, like a little darker than I am. But everybody else get to be light, and get to play the good character, so to speak. But the one that y'all don't fool with get to play the bad character who happen to be dark skinned. You see what I'm saying? Maybe I'm reaching. Oh, sit back and be thankful. Y'all, I get that and I understand that. But I got to call out things when I see it, my love. I did not like that. Now, I don't know. I don't want to blame Queen Latifah and Mary J. Blige and all them on that particular part, because I believe that they would not do that. But, I mean, this is a narrative that we've seen since the beginning of time. The dark-skinned girl, no matter what size she is, she always has to play the villain in some kind of way. She also always has to be aggressive or mean, or the bully, or, whatever. Or just the funny girl, the sidekick, the best friend. She's never the sex symbol, she's never the one that's desired, If she is the sex symbol, like Candace on the Have and Have-Nots, she got to use her looks for devious ways. She got to lose her looks for devilment, pretty much. I'm so tired of that narrative. It's time for us to do better, black people. We know better now in 2020. It's time for us to do better. Like I said, I'm not going to drop all the tea, but I'm going to leave the video on the bottom bar below. Thank y'all so much for watching this review. Like I said, in my opinion, overall, this was the best Lifetime black biopic so far. They're also coming out with a Salt and Pepper biopic. I'm concerned about the wigs. That's all I'm gonna say. And they're doing another Whitney Houston story. Why they keep talking about Whitney? This is Whitney and Bobby Christina. They're gonna do a Wendy Williams documentary. I don't know. I'll be here for it though. I might review it, but yeah. Overall, this was a great movie. 1 out of 10, I give it a 9, an even 9. I do. Even with all the critiques I have, I still give it a 9. It was good. I enjoyed it. Anyway, thank y'all for watching this long ass review. With that said, I'm Mr. Chalaki. Mr. Chalaki on Google Plus. Follow me at IsKingsWorld on Instagram and Twitter. At IsKingsWorld89 on Snapchat. Chase King on Facebook. Mr. Chalaki on Cash App and PayPal. And as always, run me my money or run me my fade. Run me my money the way I get paid. Stay black, stay tuned. And I'll see you guys later. You brought the sunshine.